I'm glad with the progress you guys are making on the inner circle page, and it is my joy to see that you guys are making such a progress, because a whole lot of people are also into this business but are not making progress as you guys are making progress quickly. Yes, these things all comes with ups and downs. Okay, but that shouldn't weigh you down. All right, it shouldn't discourage you, because this is how the journey is. It took people 2 years, 3 years. Some people it took them 5 years, longer than it should be, because they didn't get uh, the right information at the right time. But you guys are fortunate to get this digital education for free. Yours is to practice and make it. I also lose trades. As you can see, I lost this particular trade today. Okay, this particular trade, I lost it during this time, but then I recover it over here. Though I didn't mark that one again, but I recovered it. I used my tablet to do that marking. So I recovered my loss. I think I posted the loss on the channel, community channel, but then I recovered that loss and made even profit on it. Get it? So it's like that. Now the reason why, if you see, I'm not able to say buy or sell is that uh, the way our entry types are. By the time I'll enter and come and tell you buy or sell, sometimes the trade is already gone. I don't know if you guys notice it. How many of you notice that by the time you even enter and say you are coming to post on page, the trade is already gone?
Of course, I have experienced this a lot of time, so it's not new to me. It's very true.
Yeah, the way it is, a lot of people don't understand why I don't give signals, or like I hardly give signals, unless maybe I want to give a pending order, and pending orders are always mostly risk orders. You get it? So to allow all the details to play out, the confluence to play out, that is our IDM, our change of character, uh, flip, and liquidity grab, and so on, to like play out, and you take your trade, and then by the time you come and tell them, oh, buy, it's gone, because by the time you know, the market is moving very fast, and what will happen is that they will enter all right, but at the end of the day they will end up doing what? Risking more than they should. You get the point? But still, we are trying to see how best we can provide them with signals. Okay, we are trying to see how best we can provide them with signals, so that those that are not, how will I put it, who are not being able to pick up quickly, they can still be what? Be enjoying themselves whilst still learning through the process. As time goes on, once I find a way to go around that, I will let the inner circle know before the main community will know. All right. So that is it. Who else? Yes, some people haven't spoken. I want you guys to talk before I speak concerning what I want to speak about. At least two more people, then I can talk on what I want to talk about.
Yes, sir. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. Uh, this week was somehow tough because I use most of the time I use limit orders. So I marked the zones before the week start, and I placed the orders. So today I have about 9 wins and 4 losses, plus 3 break even, and others are still running. I have about 4 running trades which are in blue by today. So I think it's okay, because if I was to to do some lower time frame confirmation, I would have escaped the losses. So that's how it went for me for these 4 weeks. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. The next person, last person before we start.
Prof, actually, will you allow me to share my screen? Actually, yesterday I took a trade and I incurred a loss. And the good thing was that it just swapped my liquidity and it hit my target on Euro USD. If you allow, I can share my screen so that I just want to understand where why I was wrong and where I should have taken the entry.
Um, okay. Hello, Prof. Good evening.
Hello, Prof.
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Yeah, yeah. Just wait. Just tell me, my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes.
Okay. So, Prof, this was, it was a 15-minute Euro USD. I just, wanted to took my trade in this zone, right? In this zone. This was the zone. Let me delete this. This was the zone actually. This blue mark zone was my zone. And actually, I was, expecting a confirmation entry on 1 hour time frame. Then I switched back to, 15 minutes. The price, came back in my zone, and look, it just swept the liquidity from this zone. And I was expecting key now where should I enter? Should I enter this point, or should I wait for this candle to form a scope like that, and then I should wait for entry?
Hello.
Yeah.
Those who are not presenting to mute their microphone, printing $1 billion. Please mute your microphone.
Actually, someone is
I'm
creating
telling
noise.
you,
Actually, I'm in a silent zone. So, hello, Prof, are you listening me?
yeah, you can go on. Enough, mute yourself. Enough, mute yourself. So hell, you can continue. I think hell is not hearing me. So hell, can you hear me? Okay, I think his microphone is mute. So unmute yourself. So if you can hear me, unmute yourself.
Now I am audible to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, Prof, I just take it was my zone on 15 minutes, right? Right. Currently, my cursor. Where is my cursor? This was my zone. I was waiting for the price to come retrace till this, but at this point, this red candle, it just swept the liquidity and formed a scope. The next candle was inside bar, and the very next candle closed above the high of this red candle. So I was waiting where should I enter? Should I enter right when this red candle was formed, or should I wait at this my cursor level? But the thing was that the price didn't come to this point, and my entry was missed.
Okay, so you must not force your entry, okay? You must not force your entry. All right. So if price didn't give you loss, as price tap into the zone and strips the zone, all right. You have to move. I think that is your 15-minute time frame, right?
Right.
Okay, so since that is your 15-minute time frame, okay, what you need to do is to now shift to what 1 minute time frame, where you get. Uh, please mute yourself for me now. For now, I'm hearing myself again.
Prof, actually, it was a higher time frame. 1 hour was the time frame when the price, retraced back at 1 hour time frame. I switched at 15 minutes time frame, and this is the
No,
scenario what it
so
happened at 15 minutes.
one 1 hour goes with 5 minutes. 1 hour
Okay,
goes with
okay,
5 minutes for entry.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay. One thing is okay, it's my mistake, but one thing I need to ask. Look at this red candle. This red candle, next candle is inside bar, and the very next candle close above this red candle, right? Let me mark this
Yeah.
zone. Yeah. So in this case, it is a scope. This yellow zone, this yellow candle is a scope candle, right?
Yeah.
Y-
what was the overall trend?
Hello?
What was the overall trend?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Prof, this particular
Ah,
trend is an uptrend.
Yeah,
okay.
it was
So
uptrend.
yeah, so since it is an uptrend, okay, since it is an uptrend, what you've just marked is a minor order flow. That is a minor order flow. Okay, that red candle, the movement there, the overall flow is at the top there. But what you just marked right now is what? A minor order flow. I think when you are watching this thing, I need to switch my chart to Euro USD. Otherwise, when later you guys are watching the video, you won't see what he's talking about.
Should I
Um,
share screenshot this pic to you so that I will stop sharing and you just start sharing your screen and mark the where should be the entry in this point. So I'm just
yeah,
taking a screenshot and sending you.
I've marked it already. What you said, I've marked it.
Okay,
So
actually I'm
I'm
not
I'm
seeing action. Just yes.
yeah.
Just let me
If
check.
you want to see my screen, if you want to see my screen, then you have to stop sharing your screen. Then you can see my screen.
Okay.
Hope you guys can all see my screen.
Yeah. Now I can see your screen, Prof.
Uh,
Yeah, it's the
so
very exactly the same zone I was talking about, sir.
good. So this area here is what you were talking about. Now
Yes.
you are seeing here, okay, it's a minor order flow. All right. This is on the 15 minutes. This guy came to sweep the low. He sweep this low, all right, and gave us it went up, sweep this low. So I think there was a news event here. I'm sure there was a news event somewhere here, which caused. Please, can you all mute yourself for me? I'm hearing my voice again.
Yeah. I'm able to hear you.
Yeah, mute yourself for me for now. Okay, so what he is talking about is this area, okay? This area here. Now, this was his main zone that he marked. Price came, let me remove this drawing, this particular one. Price came and then swept that zone, all right? So, for instance, this is 15 minutes. If price does this, if I'm on the 15 minute, means I'll go to what? 1 minute, all right? I'll go to 1 minute time frame to look for an entry. Good. So let's see. Don't forget we said when price taps into a higher time frame zone, okay, then the first accurate or valid pullback that is taken becomes our change of character instead of what an IDM. So after this sweep of what of the zone, okay, is two ways you can make your entry from here. The first one is that this 1 minute candle here is giving us a single candle order block. Don't forget. So you can mark either the entire candle like this, or you can just mark the wick of the candle like this as your zone. Now, this, remember this, because we had a sweep that is of a zone, and that is giving us what a single candle order block as well. So once price taps in, you can take what we call the risk entry, which most of the time I take a lot. Some plays out, some don't play out. And anytime I take risk entry, I'm only looking at a maximum of what? 1 is to what? 1 is to 3. Risk to what? Reward. So as you can see, I can get my 1 is to 3 at, look at where I put it to. Where our expected change of character is supposed to be. That is where my what? My TP. So it is called a quick scalp. So this type, you what? You do a quick scalp on what? Risk entries. That's why a whole lot of time when I give you a trade and I say it is risk entry, you see that once price goes 1 is to 3, I come and tell you close some profit, move SL to so and so place, and allow the trade to ride. It means that we've gotten our main risk to reward ratio. So we are okay with that. But then we will now do what? We will now scale our SL into profit to prevent the remaining trade or position from what going back into loss. If maybe you are using a smaller lot and you still want it to run, then you need to move your SL into profit a little bit so that price will not reverse into loss for you. So take notice of this. Always when you are doing risk entry, you always look for a maximum of 1 is to what? Is to 3 risk to reward. And always put it just where you are looking for the change of character, whether on 1 minute, on 5 minutes, depending on the time frame you are using for your entry. Sometimes I use 15 minutes for my entry, sometimes I use 1 minute, 5 minutes, depending on where I'm doing the analysis. If it is H4, I'm going with what? With 15 minutes. If it is what? If it is 1 hour, I'm going with 5 minutes, and if it is 15 minutes, I'm going with what? 1 minute. All right, and then patience is needed. Now you can see liquidity was grabbed here, but here we swept liquidity or sweep the zone itself. All right. So Hill, this is one way you could have what? Could have make an entry with this. The other way is you wait for what? For this high, okay, to be taken out, and then you do what? You have your change of character, and once you have your change of character on the 1 minute time frame, then you now look for your what? Your zones, which in this case you would have what? Price didn't reverse back, okay, to maybe pick maybe your IDM, your extreme zone, or your decisional zone. All right. So those that would have used a risk entry would have had this trade go in their favor. All right. So today, for instance, on GU, the first trade that I lost on GU here, let me go to 15 minutes so you can see. All right. So this trade that I lost, that was a risk entry trade. Okay. That was what? A risk entry that I was taking. But then the main trade was what? Was here. Okay, which I took after the displacement here. Okay, after this red candle took both lows of this red candle and this green candle, the equal low there. Then I took the reversal, the wick that reversed over here. I took myself from there, and then I took my profit over here. I took my profit over here. That was how I made that trade, the trade, which I used to recover my loss, and also made even more profit from that. At least I recover the loss, not just recovering, but also what, making profit from it. So it's all about you identifying and knowing how to do at the at the right time. That is how trading what is. Okay. And then even I didn't close the entire trade. I took partial and then I allowed the rest of what the trade to run. Okay. So if it comes back and hits me in what in loss at break even, I've not lost anything. All right. So today market was not good for me like that, but still I was able to to make about some $41. Why? Because I had to recover my losses and still make that $41. So you can know that the market was not that good, but still we were able to move with it. So I don't know. Is it clear?
Okay. Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you.
All right. So
No, no, no.
quickly, let's
One
look
thing. One more question. Actually, I am a bit confusing. There is a confusion between single candle order block. Is it a pin bar followed by a next candle closing above the high of that pin bar? Is that is this the two candle formation? A pin bar followed by a next candle which is closing above the high of this pin bar. This is
no.
called our
See, the single candles the single candles are the candles that takes either the low, if you are in the bullish trend, that takes the low of the previous candle and closes below or equal with the odd with the previous candle. Okay, they swept, they just grab liquidity of what the previous what candle. They don't close candle body below it in a bullish and above it in a bearish. They sweep the odd, the high or the low of what the previous candle. They form the odd, the single candle order block. The other form of single candle order blocks are mostly the inside bars and then the engulfing. Please mute yourselves. But with respect to the um, inside bars and the engulfings, that is where IDM is needed. You need inducement to make those entries because they are referred to as regular order blocks. Okay, but when we have the sweep type of order block, that is the actual single or the most valid single candle order block, which does not need what inducement before you even what make an entry. Do you get it?
okay, right. So, Prof, if what I got from you, it's I was considering just first candle, then second candle came and sweep the liquidity. That's it. This is the single candle
Yeah.
order. I don't need any third candle to close above this sweep, this pin bar candle to close above this high of this pin bar candle in case of bullish
No,
scenario.
unless we are looking at where the candle didn't sweep the previous candle's low or high.
Okay, okay,
For instance, look
got it.
at this. Okay, look at this one here. You see this formation here. You see this red candle? Though it sweep this, it grab liquidity below this guy, but the body of this candle closed below this. So this is not a single candle. Now it became a single candle. It would have become a single candle on that block if this green candle here was to close the body above it. And then that type is the engulfing type of candle that we talk about. And with respect to that one, you need an inducement to make an entry. But then when we come to this side here, the second side, here, you can see this one. You realize that this candle swept this guy, it swept below it and then closed above it. So this guy here is a single candle order block. And this is why I took this entry on GU yesterday. And I posted this picture on the page yesterday. All right. I took profit here, 95% of my profit, I took it here and I allowed the rest of the trade to run. So I woke up this morning and realized that what it closed, it hit TP finally. All right. So, Sohil, I hope you get the concept. Is it clear? So here, is it clear? All right, so let's go to today's this thing. So as I said, I will be walking you guys through the topics we've done so far, but I will still be what? Be watching very carefully from the charts you guys place on the page and co to address few things. Now, one of the most important things that you should always get right is structure, market structure, and our type of what? Market structure is very unique. How we mark our market structure is very, and what Sohel Eric said is very correct. These things work on boom, crash, for 75. You see, I think Salisu, either Salisu or Sohel, one of them post boom and crash trades on the page, setups on the page, using the same concept we are learning, and you see how they play out perfectly well. And myself, I use the same concept we are doing to trade those assets. Okay. I have big things coming up. All right. Just that I want to make sure that everything is in place before we start that. So I know a whole lot of people are leaving the pages, but me, I'm not worried about that. That is not my concern. If you are just on my page to be fed with signals only, then if that is why you will leave, then that one is up to you. I like or I believe in the fact that teach the person to fish for themselves. That is me. So that, for instance, you guys know I'm a very busy person. Sometimes the whole day in the evening before I come to page to respond to even your messages. So you can imagine if I'm not available, does that mean you won't trade? You get a point. So this is why I believe in you understanding the concept by yourself, so that even if I'm not available, you can still what? You can still trade. You understand? Okay. So now today this evening I'll take time and we'll walk through structure again. I don't need to drop plenty things because I know if you want from the basics, please, if maybe those of you that will come and watch from YouTube or you are watching from YouTube, this is my inner circle members that are meeting live on uh, Telegram. And if you really want to understand all this concept, you don't need to pay any money to me. Every course is, we have done everything here on YouTube. Is free. Go to the playlist that says True SMC. You get the concepts over there. The full lecture is there. You can go and watch the introduction there and come back here and watch the overview again. All right, so let me see, let me select the pair that I've not marked anything on. Okay, so now this UJ. Okay, UJ, I hardly trade it. It's been a while I've even traded this guy. All right, so let's use him. I've not marked anything on UJ. All right, so let's see. Currently, let's see where UJ is. Now, before we start marking, let me remind you of the rules for marking structure. Okay, let me remind you for the rules. So excuse me, on H1, you can see UJ is very bullish. Okay, on H1, UJ is what? Is very bullish. Okay, so I think we had a short-term bearishness over here before the bullish move continued. Okay, all right, so let's see. Now we said that. Okay, let me remove the time period so that the chart will be neat. Okay, so we said that to mark structure or a valid structure, you need what? You need to understand the concept of what? Candle sweep. Okay, the concept of candle sweep. What do I mean by that? We are using this concept where we expect that, let's say, if we are bearish. Okay, this is our first candle. The next candle that is going to what? Is going to form over here. Okay, should do what? should sweep the high of the previous candle. Okay, so these are previous candle here. All right. So for us to have a valid pullback, we are expecting that this candle here will what? Will sweep the high of this guy. You get it? Now, when that happens, then we can say we have this move, okay, this move like this as what? As a valid what? Valid pullback. All right. Now, that is one scenario. The other scenario is that even if this guy here is not swept, and we have another, forgive my crooked drawing, so then we have, let's say, a candle open bullish next to it. Because the low of this guy has been swept, if this guy's high get swept, or swept, okay, then we will have this as what? A valid pullback. So we will have it this way. You have it this way. So this is a valid pullback now. Then we can continue with what? With movement. Now, this is in terms of candlesticks. All right. Then now we are saying that in terms of overall structure, for us to confirm the low of a structural point or the high of a structural point, then you have something we call inducement. So let's say this is another valid what? Pullback that we have here. Now, it means that still we don't have a valid low in this leg yet. Now, to get a valid low, we'll wait till this is the most recent pullback. So when price takes the most recent pullback, then now we can confirm this as our major low. All right. And then you now wait for price to what? To now come down again. Now, once we have this as our major low, okay, so this becomes our major low. Let me mark this. Counts our major low. Now, for us to confirm that we have a valid high, okay, we need to have what we call a break of what? Structure, boss. Okay, we need to have what? A boss. So we need price to now take this valid low. Once price takes this valid low, what do we do? It means we have what we call break of what? Of structure. That is what we have here. All right. We have a break of structure. That is very important for you to what? To take note of. It's very important for you to take notice of. Good. Now, for us to confirm the next new low, it means that we must have the same scenario playing out. Then we what? We take this valid pullback. When we take it, we will tap into either the decisional OB or the extreme OB. And then, so let's say we tap into our decisional OB, we will do our normal movements. And then when we break this guy, it means we now have our valid high. We had a valid low once we break this guy. So here becomes our valid low. Here becomes our valid high. Why? Because currently we have broken structure here. I hope you guys are following the whole concept. It's very important. And one thing I would love you guys to do is never in a day say whatsoever I'm repeating, you know it already. It will surprise you that there might be something I'll say, and then you might not hear me say it before, because I always upgrade myself in these things. That is one thing about me. So always make sure you pay attention to me. So this becomes our what? Our inducement over here. Inducement. And then here also is our inducement. This side, our inducement. Okay. All right. So, guys, hold on for me a minute, please. So, this is the concept we are using in marking our structure. Now, this is our higher or a valid high. Please, guys, hold on for me a minute. Okay, guys, sorry about that. So now, this area here, okay, this area here is what? Is our uh, valid high, okay, in this move for the structure. Now, if this guy gets broken, all right, for instance, if we continue and we break this guy, that is what? That is our odd IDM confirming this low. And then let's say we have something like this. Then we have something like this. Then we break this guy. Once we break this guy, it means we've done what we call change of character. Okay, it means we are changing what? From a a bearish trend into what? A bullish trend. So it means that we will now begin to look for what? Structure based on what? The bullish nature of the market. All right. I hope you guys are following. Are you guys following me?
Yeah, we're following.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Am I permitted to
I hope
ask a
the chat is
question?
not lagging like the last time.
We are following, sir.
All right. So
Please,
that is the concept. So come again.
am I permitted to ask a question now? I should wait. I should hold on for a while.
You can ask your question.
Okay, so please, you see that sometimes you have a very long leg, and then there will be an IDM taken. Let's say the point you mark, where you mark chalk, and then you place the purple dots there, and that is your chalk. But you may have an IDM taken in between that will give another another lower high. And when that one too is taken, should we consider that one as a minor chalk in quotes, a minor chalk, and then consider the major one as like the main chalk? Because I'm asking because sometimes when you're marking structure, I realize that you will have a low taking or a high taking, and then that will be a chalk. Then before you realize, price will come down again. So it will be like chalk, chalk, and then the chalk will just become plenty. So should you use like the major points or the minor ones in between two are inclusive? Please, I hope you get my question.
No, not very clear.
Okay,
If you are
so
talking about
uh,
something like this, you are talking about something like this. Let's say after taking chalk, it gives you an inducement, all right, to confirm high here, but then decides to do something like this and give you another chalk again. Is that what you are talking about?
no, I wish I could point on the screen. You see the first leg. You see the one that you just. Let me use the one that you just drew.
This one.
So that low that you mark. Let's say after that low,
Yeah,
price went up. No, not this one.
yeah.
So I'll use this one as the major one, and then the other one, the one here, the IDM you
This
showed.
one. This one.
No, please. No, no, not that one.
This,
The IDM at this side, please,
yeah.
the end of the chart. That's the right.
Yeah.
So before that point,
Yeah.
the other one, the one before that one.
This one.
So that, yeah, so that's an IDM, and that is a confirmed higher. I mean a higher low. So let's say price goes up.
That means we have confirmed this one as a high because we change character and we've taken IDM here.
Yes. So I'm saying that from that point, if price goes up and then breaks, there is a boss. And then if price goes up to create a ball, then we now confirm that low there.
Price breaks here. If let's say
Yes,
after
then
this price like this and
yes,
breaks here, then create a box.
exactly, exactly. And then the bottom there will now become our higher low, right?
Yes, so here becomes higher low.
Okay. So if price comes down to break that higher low, then that is a chalk.
If price does this, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
this is a chop.
O- Yeah, without coming to the extreme one, the one at the bottom.
No, this becomes
Yes,
your chalk.
yeah,
This.
chalk, exactly. Yeah. But sometimes you realize that price will come and take. You have quite a couple of those higher lows, or yeah, the higher lows in the move. So one price takes them out, then you have a chop, and then before you realize, price will go up again, and then continue the up move, and then you have another chalk again. So that's why I'm
Yes,
asking
so
that.
once price begin to do that, it means the market is ranging at that point.
Okay,
It is when market begins to range, that is when we have that type of movement. So that is where
okay.
people just use what we call supply and demand trading, and they don't trade based on liquidity. That is where they have problem.
I
If
see. So
pure
at
supply
that
and
point,
demand, they have problem.
so when something like that happens, should you stay away from that chart, or what should you do?
Unless you know how to use what we call the ping pong method of entry to
Entries.
stay away from the market.
Okay, okay. Because you realize that the low at the bottom there, sometimes when price makes an extended move, you see that will be your major low. So you may sometimes think that okay, when that major one is taken out, then you have your chunk. But alongside before that one, there are other lows there, and they are confirmed lows. So once price takes them out, then that was why I was asking the question that in quotes, should we call that one like a mini chalk, and then call the bottom one like the major chalk?
No,
But if
price clearly shows that a change of character and created a uh, second break of structure.
okay,
You get
all right,
so we
all right,
cannot
all right.
just refer to it as how do you call it a break of sorry a minor change of character. No, it's also a major change of character. But at that moment, this price is what is ranging. So it's either you know how to use the ping pong uh, entry, or you stay away from that market at that time. Otherwise, then you
All
have
right.
to now way of trading some.
Okay, okay. Otherwise, you have to do what?
You have to use the traditional way of trading support and resistance.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Let's continue.
All right, please. Any other question?
Yes, sir.
Because we're going to do
Yes, sir.
the full
Yes,
set.
sir.
Yeah. Good evening, Chef.
Yeah.
My question is regarding the structure. Uh, by
Okay.
the time by the time we've gotten a boss,
Yeah.
and uh, and I want to mark my point of interest,
Okay.
can I exceed that box? Maybe I want to mark my POIs like other blocks. Can I? Is
Yeah.
it limited to only that structure, the breakout structure, or I can see extend it up above or below? If I'm in a downtrend, I can see extend it above the others to the other structure.
For instance, let's say we had a break of structure over here. Okay. Now we know that when we have the break of structure, we'll be waiting to confirm a new low. So let's say after we confirm a new low with this IDM,
Yes,
you
sir.
mark your hot, your decisional OB, which in this case will be this guy here, and then your extreme OB, which will be somewhere here. All right. Now, always we can also trade from what? From where the IDM is. Let's say if we don't have any imbalance over here and near the extreme area for us to get OBs, then we will look at the IDM. The price just sweep the IDM. If it sweeps the IDM, we use single candle confirmation to take the trade. If not, we wait for price to either tap into this decisional OB or tap into what? The extreme OB before we take any decision. Now, sometimes you can tap into the extreme OB and push a little bit up, okay, by sweeping the zone. Why? Because sometimes there are liquidity just above the zone. The turning point here also serves as liquidity. Don't forget. This is why we learned liquidity. All right. So you can sweep it then before making what? A decision to what? To reverse. So yes, sometimes there might be some zones just above your
Extreme.
extreme, which will be from the previous move. Okay, so this is your previous move. So let's say let's say maybe here there is an unmitigated zone here. Okay,
Yes.
price can come in an old zone. Price can come and tap into that zone before making the move.
Okay. So we can see market, sir.
Yes, you can still mark it, but then your eye has to be on these first two zones, this decisional OB and the extreme OB. That's where
Okay.
your eye must be first. The only time your eyes must be above, on any zone above or below the range is when the extreme OB is violated.
Okay, sir.
So
Thank
when
you,
the
sir.
extreme OB, that is when we have the chalk. But remember, when I was teaching, I said after that you can now look for what? A reversal move to sell for the short term because we have a change of character. So you sell for the short term because right now the bias is now turning to what? To bullish. So you don't sell for what? The long term, but for the short term, and you take your quick profit, allow price to what? To give its own direction or confirm the direction to be fully bullish or reversing back to bearish before you begin to either going for the long-term sell or the long-term what? Buy. Okay.
All right, sir. Okay, sir. But by the time the price has passed the extreme, that is, we are already changing a structure. It become a choke.
And when we are changing structure, that is what we refer to as chalk, change of character.
Yes, sir. But because maybe we like what you just said now, we are in a downtrend, and we mark our extreme. In that structure,
Yeah.
we mark our extreme. By the time the price violates the extreme and decide to
Yeah.
go further, so we should be waiting. We should be buying or selling, sir. We should be on the. That means the trend has changed.
So, let's say price gets here and then does something like this. Okay. Does something like this. And then you see something like this. Is the wick that sweeps above. And you don't have candle body closing above the zone. That is not a change of character. That is
Yes.
liquidity sweep.
Yes,
It
sir.
is you only confirm change of character when the candle body, let's say the body like this, closes above. Then that one we can say that is what? A change of character. Are you
Okay.
okay? So a
Yes.
change of character. Okay. You will now wait
Okay.
for price to give you what? A signal to what? Sell for the short term before continuing the bullish trend. But if
Okay.
you just have a liquidity sweep, something like this, then that one you take a short, but you can now sell for the long term because it was just what a sweep of what of the zone and not a kind of. I think that is the example we saw on EU. What Sohel was showing us on EU. Yeah, this one you can see the zone was what swept. It didn't close candle body below, and you can see price what push up straight up. You get the point.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you,
Any
sir.
other question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, please open the previous chart.
Come again.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yes, sir. If there is a structure we mark and we mark the decisional OB and extreme OB also. Price come and fail the
I can hear you.
decisional OB.
I can hardly hear you.
Hello. Is it clear now, right now?
Yeah, it's better small.
Yes, sir. If market come to decisional OB and failed it, and not tap on SMOB, some in middle we need to like that there is a candle which swept the liquidity and tap on that. How we enter on that trade means we don't need to middle in middle.
I really am not getting you. Did anybody understand
Means
how to
that
that? I can repeat the question.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like that, there is an decisional OB and extreme OB.
Yeah, we have decisional OB, for instance, here and here.
Hello, sir.
And extreme OB. We need
We
only
are
two.
talking about extreme OB.
Yes, yes, sir. We need only two zone for trade. Is it
Yes,
right?
the decision and the extreme.
Yes, sir. In middle, in those zone. In middle, there
Yes,
is a candle who took.
with, with the middle zones, okay?
In
This
middle,
is what
there
you
is a candle who
do.
took liquidity and
The
failed the decisional OB and tap on that and reverse.
middle
And
zone
how we
serves.
mark that?
Can you are you hearing me? The middle zones serves as internal liquidity, the
Yeah.
engineering liquidity, and then the internal liquidity. There are times if those liquidity are swept, then you can make an entry based on that, based on liquidity sweep of those zones. But you don't use them as major POIs. The major POIs are only two: the decisional, which is just after the IDM, and then the extreme, which is just after the engineering liquidity.
Yes, sir. But that is question ke how we need to mark that zone who took in middle who took the
No,
liquidity
no,
candle.
you don't need to mark them. You just need to
But
know that those are internal liquidity. If you mark them,
uh,
you make your chart to become too clouded and you confuse yourself. Just mark the two important zones. Anything in between them is SMT.
okay, sir. Thanks.
Yeah. I'll take two more questions and we'll end this session. Tomorrow we'll have the full chat session. Either tomorrow or Saturday. I'll check my schedule.
Hello, Prof. Good evening.
Hello, Prof.
Yeah.
Actually,
Evening.
there is one more interesting thing.
Hello, Prof.
Would you
Yeah.
allow me to share my screen?
One
So,
one at a time.
the question is about inducement.
Okay.
Yeah. See that sometimes before market break a structure, it creates a major and minor inducements.
Yeah.
And if before the market broke the structure, the first pullback is a minor inducement. you could see that sometimes market quickly goes up, sweep that minor inducement, creating some kind of a smaller chalk. I mean, oh sorry, a boss, smaller boss. And now later on, you could see that market goes up again to sweep the major inducement. So sometimes I'm a bit confused when marking the inducement because of the minor and the major um inducement that sometimes market creates.
You don't need to be confused. Mostly the minor inducements are for the lower time frame. The major inducement is for one time frame higher than the other. So for instance, let's say this is on, let's say 15 minutes. This guy is will be inducement on H1. If this is inducement on what? 15 minutes, this guy will be what? Inducement on H1. This becomes the minor inducement, this becomes the major inducement.
Okay, okay,
So with minor inducement, it gives us a shorter move, and the major inducement gives us the major move or the long-term move.
okay, okay. All right, thank you so much. I got it.
Yes. So hell, you were saying something.
Yeah, actually, there is one more thing. If you can you open JSW energy chart?
What thing?
Yeah, it's very interesting here. Something is very interesting, and I think I am very much
You
confused in this. J for joy, JSW energy,
JS.
JS, J then S. Remove this X, S, W, yes, then energy, yes, the third one, yes. Will you please open the daily chart? So, Prof, actually, this JSW energy is in a uptrend. Bullish market structure is here is bullish. And if you look at Friday 1st September candle, actually here is our my daily demand zone, right?
Is that September what?
Yes, 31st August, 31st August, actually
31st August.
30, yes, there is a demand zone
Yeah.
on daily candle. And if you look at on 25th October, there is a pin bar, uh, you know, yes, 25th October. This is a single candle order block, right?
Yeah, this here is an order block, a daily order block, which
Yes.
price
Now,
has
if you,
reversed back into.
yes. So my question is that, Prof, if you switch to, 15 minutes or 1 hour, where should I have taken entry?
Yeah, so I think I explained something to you guys during the normal course that in this scenario on the higher time frame, if you are switching down to the lower time frame, you try and refine your zone. Okay. Now, if we look at H1, yeah, we have there is no imbalance. There is no imbalance. Like everywhere is what balanced over here. So maybe we can go down to 15 minutes. Now let's see 15 minutes. So here in 15 minutes, this is the extreme. We have a balance zone, balanced. Everything is balanced. Okay, so when we get here, we have a minor imbalance here. You have a minor imbalance here. So price push but couldn't what balance that zone fully. Now let's see here. We have a little of imbalance here. Okay. Here everything is what is filled. So I have only two area of imbalance. Okay. Now this guy here, the entire tail here is what? Is very imbalanced. This doji, the entire tail is what? Imbalanced. So it becomes our what? Our first zone. Okay, what you call decisional. That's the wick, not the entire body. That's the wick, because the wick has not been what? Is imbalance. Okay, the entire wick is also referred to as imbalance. The next imbalance we have is here. Okay, so this is an inside uh, candle. So this will be our extreme zone within the refinement. So you can trade from these two zones. So here, as price taps into this area here, you can switch down to your 1 minute time frame and trade based on that. Now, one thing, I think this is stocks, right? This is a stock. JSW Energy should be a stock.
Yes, yes. It's a stock.
Okay. All right. So here, as price tap in, you can use the 1 minute for entry confirmation. So let's see. If I'm trading this, I'm not ready to make entry yet until this gap is filled. So based on that, I'll look for my entry. Yeah, guys, please hold on for me a bit. Just a minute. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm back. All right. So as I was saying, you see here, this will be the zone I'll be looking to make my entry from, because this has created. There is an imbalance in between there. So this is where I'll be waiting for price. So I don't know when price will reverse there, but I'll have to wait this 1 minute time frame and make my entry from here. I need an inducement to make that entry. And I'm sure price has already created, well, we have a lot of valid pullbacks here. So price has already created that idea. And the beauty of it is this gap. Okay, anytime there is a gap, price will surely come back to fill that gap. So I'll wait for that gap to fill, and then I'll make my entry from that point. Are you okay, Sohel?
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, last question, and then we'll close this session. Tomorrow or Saturday we'll continue. But if there is no question, then I'll have to close the session, and then we will continue tomorrow or Saturday. But it's important, come back, and because of the questions you guys ask, so I'll upload the video this evening for you guys. Do well to come back and watch the videos and get yourself abreast with every information. I love you guys. See you on the page. And one more thing, guys, be active on the general community page so that those there can follow. Okay, after you guys drop the chat on the inner circle page, okay, and we do all the discussion, post them back onto the general community page for them also to follow the setups. Those of them that want to trade from the setups can also have the opportunity to do so. Don't just be active on the uh inner circle page, also be active on the community page so that the rest can follow you. Have a nice evening, everybody.
Thank you, sir.